In this video I will tell you how to make pizza sauce. Spoiler alert, I might disappoint you. To make pizza sauce, pour a can of peeled tomatoes in a bowl. This is a 400 grams can. Now add a pinch of salt to taste. And it's ready! It's ready! I mean, you still have to squash the tomatoes, of course, but the most basic version of a traditional Italian pizza sauce, it's as easy as that. You don't really need anything else, and especially you don't need to cook it. But don't be disappointed. First, I have a couple of suggestions for you, and then I will also give you a different recipe. My first suggestion here is to always use peeled tomatoes. They usually taste better since they are less processed. I explain some details about it in my book. It's on Amazon. You will find the link in the description of this video. And another suggestion, when you squash your tomatoes, do it in a light way. This will give your sauce that chunky feeling. I do it by hands. That's probably the lightest way, and it's somehow satisfying. Manipulate those squishy tomatoes. But of course you can do it with a fork, a spoon, a sword, whatever. Important, if you want to use a blender like an immersion blender, maybe because you want your sauce nice and smooth, it's okay of course, but do not blend continuously. Do it in short pulses. If you blend continuously, you would incorporate so much air and this would oxidize your tomatoes, and after a while you could get a bit of a sour taste. Besides, you could lose the brilliant red color and you will end up with a pink sauce, not too fancy. Now it's time for the alternative recipe I mentioned earlier. This is how I prepare my tomato sauce in the last pizzeria I worked in. Let's see. To make pizza sauce, pour a can of peeled tomatoes in a bowl. This is a 400 grams can. Now add a pinch of salt to taste. And now herbs. First, basil. It's quite obvious, super traditional, although I don't like it at all, don't tell it to anybody, but I know people love it. Then a teaspoon of dried oregano, which is less popular probably, but for the record is my personal favorite. I do not recommend using any other herb, at least if you want to stay traditional Italian, of course. Stir well and you are good to go. Ideally you want to make it at least a couple of hours in advance, so the flavors blend together nicely. You can also make it the previous day. In this case, you have to keep your sauce in the refrigerator. Now, as I mentioned, traditional pizza sauce is not cooked, but if you don't like the rawish taste, you have my permission to cook it